Hello everyone, welcome to the Bullet SEO series episode. In this case, we will talk about holistic SEO that digital and how actually it fully recovered from the helpful content update. You will see the Search Console data and along with the SEMrush data as well. And we will explain what is the main problem with the helpful content update affected websites and how you can actually help your website to recover. First of all, please do not try to recover without a major Google update, even if you are doing the right thing or the right optimizations until the search engine does or performs a similar major core update or a similar system update, you won't see any recovery. That's why it doesn't mean that you are doing something wrong through all this time. Another point in this case study is that some of these websites are fully recovered. Some of them are just skipped and didn't see any recovery. And some of them actually have seen just partial recoveries. And we will try to explain this difference, and we will also try to give some of the main features or the specs that the search engine actually directly looked at. So as you know, in the machine learning, everything works with the labeling. And one of the problems in this website is that it's stale, which means that I opened this website like around 2019, and most of the articles on this website are very stale and old. It's not even updated. But most of the time, this website has been used by my community to actually understand the advanced concepts in the search engine ranking systems. For instance, if I go for this specific research, it's a unique research that you won't find at somewhere else. But at the same time, this research here is unique, it's valuable, but it doesn't target any query at all. It's not searched on Google. So that's why the website actually doesn't have that much an SEO purpose. And the first problem with these type of websites, they are very stale. Second, they are not connected to any kinds of, let's say, a query network that is assigned to a topic. The third one is the website is using actually GeneratePress theme, and GeneratePress is one of the major WordPress themes that are heavily used by the AI-generated websites. And as you know, the user-generated content has been started to be promoted just during or just before actually the main content generators or AI content generators like WordTune or ChatGPT. And in this case, most of these WordPress websites, they are all actually flagged. And if you look at today's website, it doesn't have a unique design, which means that it might not be a business website. In this case, it might be a wall website. What I mean with the wall website is, basically, you look at the wall looks back at you, which means that there is no function on the wall. There is just text and the image, and that's it. So we will also stay on that subject. And most of the time, these type of websites, they don't have enough level of search demand either. And when I look at the term here, the holistic SEO, it's not that much clear whether actually it is for the brand or it is actually for the generic term holistic SEO or not. So these were the problems on this site, but as I said, I never focused on doing SEO here, and there is one more issue because half of the documents on this website also, they are stale, but also they are used for experimenting because I used some certain, let's say, less relevant topics just for training some of my author teams. And in this case, we just created a topical map and a kind of semantic content network based on a template we have written, we have published, and we have observed the effect of these things. So I have performed a few small optimizations in this website to actually recover the traffic. And also, with that said, I didn't try that much hard either too. The first thing is something that I also did in some other websites. If you look at my blog at SEO case studies, you will see this website earlier because in Athletic Insights, which was an affiliate source case study from expired domain, its topical map has been translated into Turkish and used in this e-commerce project. This e-commerce project actually gets huge level of, let's say, backlinks and branding support from the dietcolic.com, which means dietitian or dietfun.com. And in this case, even if this website directly doesn't have a really huge branding, basically by using actually the branding effect of the dietcolic, it has a kind of trans signal. I did the same thing actually earlier with the, let's say, one of my another e-commerce case study. Maybe I can find it because I have written these things years ago. I believe, oh my God, these pop-ups. Anyway, I believe it was here. I will just demonstrate you the structured data because this was a very small e-commerce website, but it was very under the Eczacıbaşı holding. So which means that by using the structured data and some external links, I have transferred the entity reputation to a smaller entity. And this is what we do in this area as well. And when it comes to this specific source, if you go to the most bottom part, I connected most of the social media accounts directly to my own entity, my own brand name, which is my name. And while doing that, I also linked directly the course website. And together with that, also the website directly links the newsletter as well. So when you look at this specific website, it doesn't have a directly integrated newsletter. It doesn't have an integrated let's say, course system on it or on this domain. But by actually connecting these different entities to each other, like a founder, and the founder also is leading the newsletter and also leading this specific course. And all these websites, they are actually linking each other reciprocally, which means that even if this website is using Just Generate Press, in this case, you are integrating multiple sites with multiple functionalities to each other, which means the website actually stops becoming just a whole website. There is a newsletter functionality and there is a chatbot functionality that actually helps users to come back, leave their mails to here or to here. And they keep actually asking questions and getting answers from the chatbot as well. And another part is I have created a subfolder under this website just for the topic of AI. Because if one of the topics are trending, and if you are able to connect the trending topic by processing to your core topics, it will be providing you further ranking chance and also prioritization for being crawled further too. I didn't update most of the old articles, but by using artificial intelligence with my agents, I have updated some portions of them by adding key fact summaries or by fixing grammar issues. And by adding actually further information or further connected entities according to the agents that I've created. But this is not implemented for most of the documents on the site as well. So we have used certain type of entity-oriented understanding to connect these entities to each other, and we have added further functionalities to the website. Another part is, of course, the branded search demand. So we have a really high CTR for the term. So the term actually also means us because we have site-wide connections. Secondly, site-wide connections on the Google search, which means we open the different type of, let's say, segmented links from the website in the Google search, which shows that actually the term is heavily related to the website and the brand behind it. And we also kept really active the entire social media accounts by signaling the branding. And whenever the topical authority has been searched or this newsletter has been searched or gets any kinds of activity from the Gmail data, it basically helps this website to prove that it is actually a brand as well. But as I say, none of these things are actually done for recovering to a helpful content update or anything. Basically, these were necessary for business and the community goals for helping the SEOs around the globe. And it was a natural result based on that. We have processed the AI-related subjects, not just for having the trending notes. And if you look at, again, the Blue Hat SEO playlist, you will see the concept of the trending notes with these AI email tools under this specific case study. That also we have written all these articles, but this case study has been published like nearly 1.5 years ago. So it was really a long time ago. So if you watch the videos, you will understand what I mean in a way much better, right? Because lately the Blue Hat SEO case, the videos also start to become longer. And since I don't repeat the same suggestion two times, I try to go for some deeper subjects in this case. When it comes to technical SEO, I didn't use it. I just updated the WordPress theme as much as possible. And I mean, for technical SEO, of course, we have done a few things, but not that much heavily, because as I said, this website was never a priority, and probably in the future too, it won't be a priority. I even don't care about leaking page rank from the homepage that much. As you can see in this area, normally I would never do that if I will be doing SEO for this website. Or of course, the social media accounts or different type of subjects, they could also be distributed in a way much better way as well. So with that said, most of the time, the links on the page, they were also same, and nothing that much has been changed on these sections. So you see the results in this case. It is hitting with the helpful content update, with the August 15 core update, it came back, and with the September, October updates, algorithmic updates, it gets some certain type of balancing. Together with that, the Google Discover traffic has been also refreshed, but it's not like as before, which means that actually the website is not like entirely before or with this peak moment on the September. And I would like to also explain a few patents and research papers that will be helpful for you if you want to recover these type of websites. First of all, try to understand this concept, query term frequency, and also query term weight, which means that actually a specific type of query term, how many times it appears for all the variations and combinations of these specific words that can appear in the search terms. And try to understand which one of these are actually heavier. If you're able to understand whether AI or let's say SEO or the tool, which word here can be possibly heavier term to construct an index and understand the relevance of the documents. If you're able to understand it properly, you will be able to adjust your documents and site-wide connections in a better way. The second one is about understanding click satisfaction models. Basically, this one tries to understand what type of a click you need. Long click, short click, or let's say, do you need further engagement from the same user across multiple queries or not? And in this case, the research paper directly states that a currency converter in this case doesn't actually need that much long click, or even that not that much actually even clicks itself too. This one usually I try to focus on impressions, because during these specific projects, if you're able to see a kinds of impression increase first before the click increase, still it will be helpful for you. Plus, when it comes to a certain type of topics, basically you don't need that much a long click. Still, it will be helpful for you to give positive historical data signals to the search engine. This one is about corroborating answers from multiple web sources. So rather than actually giving common sense information, try to compare how many times you are giving this type of numbers and this type of measurement units, and whether you are in the consensus or not. So usually when I create any kinds of document in this type of, let's say, websites, I try to calculate how many triples I have, how many entities I have, and how ordered these entities as it should be in my website content network. If these things are not accurate or optimized as it should be, eventually we'll be losing these type of updates. So this one is about engagement, and beyond the clicks, it doesn't focus on the clicks, but it focuses on the develop time for content personalization. And this one actually, they try to also explain that whether a user actually stays on your website long term or short term, but it says in according to again the topic, type of the content, or according to the user's engagement combinations. For instance, click, 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 or click, 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 comment, click, or click, click, input, click. There are different type of combinations, and if you don't have any those kinds of input element in your website, this is an input element, this is an input element, for instance, this is again input element, and this is also an input element, for example. If you're able to have these type of functionalities on your website, it will be helpful for you to also be recommended further and further. And if you read this research paper, you will actually see that they use different type of algorithms, and they explain engagement-based metrics work even better than the click data as much as possible. This concept is about stylometry. If you use AI heavily, you shouldn't leave any signature behind. And if a search engine sees that there is no human effort, if there is no human effort in your content or your documents, if it is just AI, the search engine actually can attribute authorship to the AI and not to your source. And in this case, you will be losing the ranking chance and overall authority. And directly here, based on the stylometry, a search engine can understand authorship of a web document through the stylometry by using statistical analysis of a linguistic feature present in the text. Modern stylometry employs computer algorithms that analyze large quantities of text, and it just continues to explain how the search engine can actually understand whether it is written by AI or you or by someone else. Because if you keep asking questions like what are the symptoms of X disease, or which electric scooter is best, or let's say which natural baby cream is best, and you most of the time AI will be giving similar answers, and the search engine can understand if there is enough level of large document corpora, search engine can actually understand that. And I would like to demonstrate you a few low quality page examples. For instance, if you look at this page from Quality Rater Guidelines of Google, you will see that they put these logos, but logo context is not clear. This source here is not even clearly connected to Google or Business Rate or BBQ or whatever. And basically, there is no clear association as I have used here. there is a clear associations in these ones or in this one too. And even in my first public SEO case study, if you look at the footer, you will see directly all the big entities, they are linking each other. If I go one of them, they also link each other too. I know that many people will tell you that this is spam, but it's not if you are a brand. If you are not a brand, then it's spam. If you have high level of page rank or branded search demand collectively, you will be protected. And again, if you look at this one, the page has too many links, too many links. If you remember one of my older cases, I always say, at least try to use 3 contextual links in your main content and do not distribute most of the content and the links to the boilerplate. Here, let's say the breadcrumb belongs to the main content, but it's very distant from the main content. The layout is not good at all. If you look at this one again, a low quality page from Google, Ginger for Health. If you read this document, you won't see any quality information. I mean, I can write this. There's a large array of sicknesses that Ginger will facilitate against. To call some are nausea, digestive issues, arthritis, and circulation. If you want to make this text, for instance, better, first of all, there is no coverage between heading and between the answer. And imagine that I just checked this as a search engine. I don't have enough time. Basically, I need to do predictive information retrieval. And the easy way of doing this, checking your heading and then checking your first search sentence of the subordinate text. If there is not enough level of coverage, for instance, the word benefit doesn't actually appear here at all. You talk about sicknesses here. So that means that actually the subordinate text is not connected in terms of context. Then you also use a blurry language, and it's not even clear whether you are directly in the consensus or not. You directly say this is a singular sentence, this is a plural. So there are many things here, to be honest. And if you want to talk about digestive issues, what do you mean here? Just open a parenthesis and give them, or try to mention them explicitly. And to be able to signal the benefits, you should use some contextual functional words like helps, improves, develops, and etc. Another one here is how to adopt children from Iraq. Here you will see that actually, again, the introductory part is not about even Iraq. The main content of the image is representative, but it's not even related to Iraq. And the main content has been interrupted by the ads. So most of the content is ads here. And if you look at the instructions, it doesn't have any proper info. Choose an adoption agency. It doesn't have any relevance properly. So most of these websites, unfortunately, they have been cleaned. If you have e-commerce site, this is a slightly good example. At least the good thing here is that we have all the semantically related combinations and attributes. Then we have a really good amount of products on the page. If you have more products and review per product, you will rank higher in the context of the e-commerce SEO. When it comes to implementing it for the SaaS, you will need to be reviewed, whether in your GBP or Google Business Profile, whether in your social media accounts or not, but you will need any type of actually user-generated content around your brand as much as possible. And this one also, not a bad example, but you will see a similar structure here too. I mean, at least the breadcrumb is closer to the main content. And again, we have enough, let's say, we have a review section, but there is no existing review directly on the pages. And at the same time, what you have here in terms of the product diversity, we talk about bathroom decor, which is good, but it would be also good to be able to label these products with their, let's say, common names. And you can group these things to also link for further category pages and link back from there as well. For instance, this product here, kinds of trash can, there is only one product in that area. So your product diversity is also important in that angle too. So as you know, we announced Topical Authority way earlier than also Google. Google actually announced Topic Authority just for the news. If you read this document also, you will understand how your Topical Authority will be helpful for you to be relevant. Technically, they actually used the phrase locale and the topic same, like topic or location. In my terminology, I don't use them as same. I say topical authority, then I say local penetration. Your website will be able to rank higher for certain areas and geographies. And you will be able to transfer this further if you are able to signal single your actual localization in a better way. If you read this case study, you can understand it. I don't repeat these case studies that much since it's a holistic SEO case, so the basic principles will always be valid here. So read it, you will understand why the first impression was coming from Luxembourg. It will be helpful. When it comes to this one, again, system and method for determining topic authority, the patent section now we are talking about. And in this one, again, you will see something similar. There are different topics and different weights for this specific topic. According to the authors also, or the author entity, in this case, me, for instance, in this SEO topic, basically, you will be getting different type of scores or authority scores, and it will be used actually for ranking you directly on a certain type of subject. There are different similar patterns to this. I mean, there is also a previous patent for that. It mainly focuses on the authors, but this one also brings the subject of website together with that. So I would suggest you to actually check this research paper to understand the topic-based SEO. And in this one, we talk about query ranking, which is explaining how Google actually generates queries and how they actually merge and cluster queries and then assign a topicality or a category name for that. So if your document doesn't have the right topic and if that topic is not relevant to that category, you will be having a less relevance in this case. This one, let me just zoom out. Yeah, this is also about basically predictive information retrieval, but it's also about completing your query while you are typing. And when they rank a certain type of document, let's say you just search for Italy, in this case, the map and the history also should be existing in the root document that targets directly Italy, and you will need to derive further attributes even from this area, for instance, Italy map. Then in this case, if I can click, let's say, you will need to find some certain connections like geographical map or let's say political map. And if you say the political, then you will get the political directly like Italy policies, etc. And there are the root attributes to it. If you watch or if you join to the Topical Authority course, you can understand how we can derive further context from the attributes and understand how these queries are connected to each other. This one is from Yahoo. Why it is important? Because Dr. Nayor is here. And it's talking about query-dependent, link-based ranking using authority scores. This actually mainly talks about how a website gathers certain authority scores based on the link connections and how it can actually be distributed via internal links and how it can also be used for ranking you according to the anchor text, let's say, relevance. And they talk about the methods that can be used. Usually Yahoo patterns are more mathematical, but it's also about the inventor in this area. And lastly, a case that I published earlier, ranking signal delusion and consolidation. This was a concept that I created like 4 and 5 years ago. Again, this is also one of the holistic SEO case studies, but a smaller one. Basically, it explains when you increase the amount of URLs on your website, you are basically diluting the page rank, and it will be causing you to rank slower and lesser. So that's why for this type of websites, try to decrease the weight on the shoulders of the website. But in this one, I didn't delete anything, by the way. I can tell that. So it just waits as it is, and I won't be deleting at all. Maybe one day I will just refresh its, I don't know, design, and I will be gathering some leads or whatever. But if you look at the website for the 5 years, I even don't have a contact form or any pricing or any service or anything here. Basically, it's just built for helping and explaining SEO to the SEOs around the globe. If you want to learn further, join our newsletter and join our course and the community. And next year, we will be doing the conference in Istanbul. I hope we can also meet there. I have a slight migraine. That's why this video was longer. And also I'm talking, let's say, slightly less enthusiastic, but it doesn't reflect what I feel from my heart. And if this video was helpful for you in terms of the helpful content update recovery, even if slightly, I would be happy. I know that many businesses are affected negatively from that. And many people also suffered emotionally and psychologically and financially from that. 11 months Google actually stalled people around this subject by promising, let's say, non-useful suggestions. So you should also understand that search engines are not fair, and they don't care about publishers or website owners. As Sergey Brin's site once, Google is built for users, not for websites. So that's why I always suggest build a brand and make the website just an instrument there. That's why Holistic SEO Digital, even if it doesn't rank on Google, still is part of my brand and it will be helping to my community. So ranking in this case becomes a side effect of branding. With that said, thank you so much and see you in the next one.